What's up, guys? Welcome to Rob's house. Today we're going to be doing a pretty easy modification to the Corvette. I have here from Vette Lights, I have these Lamborghini Aventador style tail lights that we're going to put on the Corvette. I've seen a lot of different cars that have these and I think they look pretty cool. Basically, instead of like your traditional headlight, it kind of blacks them out, but it also, they're LED, and you can do sequential turn signals, which I think is pretty sick. I think it'll look a little bit better than the stock tail lights, I hope at least, and I'm going to show you how to install them today. So the procedure is pretty simple. These are plug and play. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is we're going to have to not pull the bumper completely off, but at least unbolt it and pull it off the tabs. You don't have to pull it all the way out. We just have to sort of get it loose so that we can remove the stock headlight assembly. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, first thing we got to do here is remove this rubber trunk liner. These are, from what I've seen, pretty easy to pull out. You just kind of pull on it and see that? It just pops right out. It's just a bunch of clips, pretty easy. Some of these are a little more stubborn than others. There we go. Oh, it looks like one of them was broken. Unless I just broke it, but I don't think I did. All right, guys, the next step is we have these T15 Torx bolts, Torx screws. There are 10 of them along this strip, so we're gonna remove all of those right now. All right, all 10 of these are removed. Next step, on the bottom here, see these, all these bolts on the bottom. We have two 7mm bolts on each side here, and we have these four 7mm bolts over here. We're gonna remove all of them. That is going to also allow us to remove the mud flaps on each side. So if you look back here, we gotta take these mud flaps off because there's two more screws underneath those that actually hold this liner on. So we just gotta remove those so that we can pull the bumper off and get at the taillights. All right, that's one side. 6 bolts on each side. These are all the same. You don't have to worry about mixing them up. They are all exactly the same size. Now we should be able to work these mud flaps off over here. And these are just held on by clips. So we're gonna be careful, but I'm just gonna kind of give it a little tug on them a little bit and it should pop right out. There we go. All right, now that those are off, on each side we have these two T15s that we got to take out also, and this will allow us to get the liner free from the bumper on both sides. Then we can start pulling the bumper off. So let's do that. Sometimes you got to get creative. I will be back after I have completed this on both sides of the car. All right, so now we're going to remove the trim piece around the taillight assembly. So these are just held in by clips from what I can see. So we're going to more or less just kind of get something in there and try to push down on the tabs and pull them out. All right. There's one. So you got to be kind of careful when removing these things. Basically, they have these tabs and they slide in and over the tabs. So you just got to get your trim tool in here to kind of like pry up on that tab a little bit and it'll come right out. I'm going to do that on the other side and then we'll get to the last bolt here. There's one more, I don't know if you can see it, but there's one more T15 on each side here. I'm going to do this side, then we'll take those bolts out and we'll begin the disassembly process. All right, just so I can make sure you guys can see that bolt back there, that T15? That's the next thing we're gonna remove. There's one on each side. Okay, see it up there? We're gonna remove that guy on both sides, then we can pull the bumper off. Guys, with those bolts out, we can start pulling the bumper off. I didn't remove there's two tabs behind, there's like a couple more tabs behind the license plate and stuff, and I left those in because I don't actually want the bumper to fall off the car completely. I just want to get it loose so I can get to the back of these headlamp assemblies. So I'll show you what that looks like once I get this bumper part of the way off. All right, so first of all, Got the bumper disconnected. We don't have to like pull it much more than this on each side. We're just going to pry it out a little more. I don't know if you could see, but there are the connectors for the tail lights. So we got to get the bumper off enough that we can get to those. And then we're just going to unbolt the taillight assembly, which is, it's bolted in from the inside. So there are a couple screws on the back. So I'm gonna just unplug the connectors, unbolt those, pull the taillight assembly out, and then I'll show you what it looks like off the car because it's a little bit easier. If we actually look at our new ones, you can see these tabs sticking out the sides. You got one here, one there, and one there. That's how we'll mount the new ones on. All right, guys, so I got this side out. It's pretty simple. There's one connector. Now that this is free, I can show you. There's just one connector that plugs into the back of the lights. Super simple. There's actually two connectors on the new lights, and that's because there is a main connector that connects to the wiring harness that I just showed you. Then there's this little secondary connector because on these Aventador lights, where the heat extractors would normally be, these are actually your reverse lights. So you have to plug those in when it comes time to actually put the bezel on. But we don't have to do that yet. So right now I'm going to connect the main harness here. One other thing to note, if you just want the lights to function normally and just the whole thing blink, you don't have to do anything. You can just install these. If you want to enable sequential function, the manual says to disconnect this jumper. So I'm going to disconnect this and then probably just zip tie it so that it doesn't move around. I'll zip tie it to these other wires, and that's it, and then we'll be good to go. I'm just gonna reverse the process. Oh, one other thing I messed up. I think I said there were 3 screws. There's not, there's 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all 7mm bolts. So it's a little bit hard to get to the bottom ones. I ended up actually using my small ratchet to get to the bottom ones because I could get my hand in there, and then I used my normal mechanical ratchet to get to the ones up top. So I'm just gonna reverse that process and mount the new light, right? I'm gonna plug it in, I'm gonna mount the new light. I'm going to plug the connector in for the reverse lights, and I'm just gonna let this chill and kind of like hang out here while, you know, so I'll do both sides. Then I have to reconnect the bumper. And when I reinstall the bumper, then I will, the very last thing will be to click the bezels into place. And the reason for that is because if I click the bezels in first, I won't be able to actually grab in here when I go to reinstall the bumper. So I actually want this space to be open for my hand, which is why I'm not gonna put them on right away. So that'll be the last thing that I reconnect. There it is, guys, one down. Like I said, I'm gonna let that chill there until I'm ready to put the bumper back on. I'm going to do the other tail light now. Now that I know how to do it, it shouldn't take me that long, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, they're both installed. We're going to just reverse the process now, put the bumper back on, snap these bezels into place once the bumper's back on, and I'll show you the finished product. All right, guys, so we have one side completed here. First of all, these lights look awesome. Second of all, so I figured out what the problem was, and before I finish up the right-hand side, I wanna show you guys what problem I personally ran into. You may not run into this problem, but I just wanted to share this with folks just in case. First, I want to give a shout out to the guys over at Vette Lights, specifically Cole. Today is 4th of July that I'm working on this. We already went out and saw some fireworks, and now the family's asleep, so I'm here working on the car. This is day 2 of me working on these lights. I gave up last night, actually, because I could not for the life of me get these bezels in. So I emailed Cole from Vette Lights, and I was like, dude, what, like, I don't know what to do. How do you guys get these bezels on? This is so hard. And he was like, okay, yes, so this is the most tedious part of the install. One thing you can do is heat the tabs on the outside. So these little tabs, heat them and just kind of bend them outward a little bit because it helps them grab the clips a little bit. So it gives you effectively a little bit more of a perimeter to help them grab. But what I noticed was inside here, so that helped a little bit, but I still couldn't quite get this corner piece in. I got the flaring of the tabs helped a lot around the perimeter out here in the thin sections, but in this thick section, it would not stay in. So one thing I noticed on the other side, and you can kind of see it on this side, there's a couple of marks a little bit off from this hole. And there is this little nipple, I guess, I don't know what you would really call it, that is supposed to go into this hole, presumably. I could not get this thing to line up. So what I actually did on the other side is I took my Dremel and I cut it off. I know that's probably not what you're supposed to do, but even with flaring the tabs out, I kept, and even knowing that that was the problem, I still couldn't get the stupid thing on the other side. It's a mirror image, right? I couldn't get the stupid thing to just move over just a little bit. And like, it's enough that I would have to move it about a half an inch down into the right. And I just can't pull on, I also didn't feel good about pulling on the plastic that much because I was afraid that I would start to stress some of these clips up here. So all I did on the other side is I cut this little nipple piece off and all of the clips went right in. Absolutely no problem on this side. See, everything's nice and flush, fits perfectly. So anyway, regardless, I really appreciate Cole. I really appreciate the customer service. I did not expect a response on the weekend, let alone on a national holiday. So huge shout out to him. He was very sympathetic to my frustration that I expressed nicely in the email. I just said like, hey, you know, I'm really frustrated. I've been at this for a while. I really need some help. I definitely recommend Vette Lights. First of all, I ordered these lights and they were at my doorstep in like 2 or 3 days. So that's awesome. And second of all, like that kind of customer service, you just can't take that for granted, right? So I will definitely be buying from them in the future. Some of the things I want to do, for example, that they sell is these side markers. They're red on my car, so they don't look too bad, but the front ones are yellow. So I want to get the black ones just to kind of match all the other black accents. Vette Lights sells those, so I'll probably buy that from them. They also sell Aventador style headlights for this car. So if you want the like the triangular daytime running light that you would see like on an Aventador in the front of your car, Vette Lights sells those too. I personally like the C7 headlights a lot. I just wasn't a huge fan of the taillights. I know that's kind of the iconic Corvette thing, is to have the 4 taillights, you know, 2 and 2. And on the C5 and C6, they were just round, and then they kind of made them a little more like square or like parallelograms on the C7. But I just saw this aftermarket set, and because I had looked into like maybe getting a blackout set for mine to tint them, but I don't like that because I don't want the lights to be more difficult for people to see. So then I saw these and I was like, well, this is cool because these are blacked out and the LED sections are clear, so they're nice and bright during the day. No one's gonna have trouble seeing my brake lights or my reverse lights or anything, and they look pretty sweet. And they do sequential turn signals, which I'll show you at the end of this video. You can have them either blink full, or you can separate that one wire that I showed you before and do sequential. So I'm gonna get that other bezel on. I'm just gonna cut that nipple off of that one as well and get that bezel installed, and then I'll show you the finished product. So I'll be right back. Check it out, guys, it's all done. All right, so if I lock the car up, okay, you get that cool sequential lock feature, and then when you unlock it, same thing. Again, the lock. Now let me show you the hazards. All right, so here you can see my hazard lights. So my turn signals would work the same way. So you can see my front hazards flashing. I have it set to do sequential, so the brake lights just go solid, but hazards do the sequential operation, and turn signals would do this on whatever the corresponding side is. What you saw earlier with the white lights on the side, those are your reverse lights. These are your reverse lights on each side. So it just gives like a way more aggressive look to this car. And now these lenses are all blacked out, so everything's kind of matching. Before with the clear tail lamps here, it just looked a little out of place because nothing else is that color on the car. Maybe it wouldn't look as out of place if your car was either like white, or I didn't have tinted windows, for example. Maybe it wouldn't look that weird, but so anyway, now the rear end of the car is a lot more aggressive looking with these being blacked out. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Like I said before, shout out to Vette Lights. That was some awesome customer service. Helped me resolve the issues with the bezels. So yeah, car looks pretty good. We got some more mods coming soon, so stay tuned. I have actually a new seat back cover for my driver's seat because the headrest has some discoloration on it, and it's kind of beyond using leather cleaner to repair it. It's starting to flake also. So that's gonna be another video where I'm gonna pull the whole seat out and replace the seat back cover. I also have a short throw shifter on the way, so I'll show you guys how to disassemble the shift linkage in these and put a short throw on. We also have some red LED strips that just came in, so I'm gonna put red underglow on this car, like I have blue underglow on the Mustang. I'm a fan of underglow. I know it's a controversial thing in the car world, but I like it. And I'm also going to, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a video on it. I might do a video on it, but I'm going to use my remaining panel wipe here and my remaining ceramic and exo. I gotta clean this car. This car's dirty right now, but the remaining ceramic and exo on this car, I have enough to do this whole car. The other thing that I'm going to redo, I probably won't do a video for this, but I must not have, you know, I made the mistake when I did this vinyl, this hood vinyl. Sorry, again, it's really dirty because it got rained on, but it's starting to peel a little bit. And I think it's because I made the mistake of pushing it down by hand instead of using my squeegee so I could like really press it down. And I didn't let it sit long enough. I did the video, I put the hood vinyl on, and then we had a cruise like the next day or the day after that. So I took it out when really I should have let it sit longer, because since these edges on either side of the vinyl aren't tucked in anything, I really should have let it let the adhesive bond with the hood. And I think that just, you know, putting it through a bunch of wind from driving and heat cycling, because the motor gets quite hot, so the hood gets hot, just kind of caused it to lift. And I've tried to kind of heat it and put some weights on it to keep it down, and it's not really working. So anyway, I'm not sure if you can see it here, but it's coming up just a little bit. It's enough to annoy me. So I have extra vinyl. I'll probably just peel that off. I'll use the panel wipe this time to make sure that that surface is like super clean, and then I'll redo the vinyl. I don't think I'm gonna do a video on that, so I figured I'd just mention it today. One other mod that I did that I never did a video on just because it was super simple is one of the Corvette forum page members, his wife makes these vinyl stickers. If I get an angle here, it's a tattered American flag. She makes the non-tattered, like a regular Stars and Stripes, and she makes like a tattered version. I just happen to like the tattered version. So here, let me get a light so I can show you guys. There you go. So I put these on my little rear triangle windows on both sides. So I think it just gives it kind of a cool look to the car. The Mustang here actually has fake side scoops kind of like glued on there. And this car, I don't know, I just thought this would be like kind of a cool touch. Actually, when the sunlight hits this, it ends up kind of looking like when my light hits it. So when you're out in the sun, you can see it pretty clearly. It looks pretty cool. You know, gives a little unique touch, I think, to the car. So anyway, that's what we have planned for this car coming up. Stay tuned for more videos. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. As usual, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.